is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
The Indians arrive in Minnesota riding high after taking 3 out of 4 from the first-place Tigers. In doing so, the Tribe trimmed 2 games off Detroit's lead and continue now their all-encompassing central trip against the last-place Twins. No Joe Mauer does not equal no problem, as the Indians will try to avoid any kind of letdown and keep the momentum going next on Sports Time Ohio. Last time the Indians visited Target Field here in Minneapolis, they were wrapping up the American League wild card spot and having a big party here in downtown Minneapolis. Today, the Indians look to continue their momentum on the road trip. It's game 1 of a 3-game series against the Twins. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe is playing well right now. They came out of the All-Star break with a full head of steam. They won 3 out of 4 against Detroit. Obviously important to avoid any kind of a letdown now against the Minnesota team that is in last place in the Central Division. But, Rick, the Indians are shuffling their lineup. They're facing a left-hander. We know lefties have given them a lot of trouble this year. Terry Francona is really loading up with the right-handed bats, and he's bumped Yan Gomes up into the number 3 hole.
And Gomes has been swinging a very hot bat in the month of July. 4-14 on the road are the Indians against left-handed starters, but it hasn't been Gomes' problem. He's done a nice job. He's been swinging the bat. He's starting to hit with a little bit of power now, so he moves up into the number 3 hole. It'll be an interesting lineup for the Indians tonight, but a lot of right-handers in there. And for Yan Gomes, the month of July has treated him very well against left-handers. On 359 average. That's in the top 5 in the American League. His throwing has been very, very good since his early problems, so he has had no problems. He's hit well against the Central Division, and that's where we will be for the next week.
No question about that. And, of course, T.J. House gets the call up. He's on the hill for the Tribe in the series opener against Minnesota. We'll break down the pitching matchup when we come back. McDonald's. I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. By Panini's. Get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. And by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Target Field in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota, just last Tuesday hosted the All-Star Game. And tonight they'll host the Cleveland Indians as the Tribe looks to kick off this series in fine fashion and keep the momentum rolling on this road trip. TJ House will make the start for the Tribe. Rick, in his last 4 starts with the Indians, he's allowed no more than 3 earned runs.
Well, you have to like TJ House. He gets on the mound, he works quickly, he throws strikes. Look, he's going to give up base hits because he doesn't walk many hitters, but he's not overpowering. He moves the ball in and out. He's got a nice breaking ball, a changeup. Right-handers may get their share of hits, but he keeps you in a ball game. That's all you can ask for TJ House. That's why he's getting another start. 1-0 in the Central Division this year. He'll be matched up against a left-hander, Chris Johnson.
So that's the pitching matchup for tonight. Earlier this year, when the Twins came to Cleveland back in April, Ron Gardner picked up his 1,000th career victory at the expense of the Tribe. But now it's the Indians who are in desperate need of victories as the second half of the season is picking up steam. It's the Indians and the Minnesota Twins, and the play-by-play is coming up next. Brought to you by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers, by the Cleveland Clinic. Call today for an appointment today. And by the Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Warm, humid, and breezy. There at Target Field in Minneapolis, the Twins take the field as the Indians and their Central Division rivals all set to open up this 3-game series. Let's go downstairs to Katie with him. She has the latest on the Indians American League Player of the Week or weekend. Which is it, Katie?
It's Jason Kipnis, and funny enough, he actually found out when he got a few text messages from his friends this morning congratulating him. He said, for what? And they told him that he was the American League Player of the Week. He said he was shocked and honored, but then went on to tell us, the media today, that he's still been bothered by that oblique injury. So for him, it's just a matter of adjusting. But Matt, in Detroit, he adjusted pretty well.
Yes, he did, and third time in Jason's career he has captured the American League Player of the Week honors, albeit an abbreviated week because they only played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But Kipnis obviously had a big impact on the Indians' series win over the Tigers. Let's take a look at the Tribe starting lineup for Terry Francona, brought to you by Progressive. After Kipnis, it's his Dribble Cabrera and Yan Gomes up into the 3 spot. Then it's Carlos Santana, Ryan Rayburn, Nick Swisher batting 6th, and you'll note he's in right field. Roberto Perez catching. That's because Gomes is the DH here tonight. Then it's Lonnie Chisenhall followed by Mike Aviles. So 7 right-handed bats for the Indians tonight.
They'll be facing 29-year-old Chris Johnson, who is our GMC starting pitcher. He's only making his 3rd start. His first one against an American League team. His first start came against the Dodgers. He went 4 1/3 through 106 pitches. Second coming against Colorado, he threw 4 and he threw 57 pitches. We'll see what he has for the Indians. I hear he does have a pretty good curveball, but we'll see if he can control that. Let's set the defense behind him. That is brought to you by Kia. Willingham will be in left field. Santana in center. Parmalee over in right. Plouffe at third. Escobar at short. Dozier at second. Morales at first. Suzuki behind the plate. These guys, as always, 47 errors. They're rated 3rd in the league.
The umpires tonight, Jim Wolf behind the plate. Crew chief Brian Onora is down at 3rd. Rayburn Little on the bases. The Indians come in having won 7 out of 10. They trail Detroit in the AL Central by 5.5. Minnesota in last place in the division, 11 games back. And of course, most of the talk here in the Twin Cities, what do they do at the trading deadline, which is coming up very quickly now. Johnson's first pitch in there for a strike. Swing and a strike called. 0-2. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. 5 hits in the series against Detroit. 6 runs driven in. He also had 4 walks. And that ball low and away, a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the Indians' first trip to Minnesota this year after the All-Star break. Same thing last year. They made all 3 trips after the break. We opened here last year.
Swing and a miss. He strikes him out, 1 away. Keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. No emotional letdown. Always important. Coming off a big series, hyped as it was against Detroit. Solid D. Play the good defense, and the Indians have lately. And this is that big road trip that continues now after the 4 in Detroit. 3 here and then 4 in Kansas City. 90 degrees at game time. The heat index today here in the Twin Cities reached 105 degrees. So very warm and humid.
We were here, what, about 2 or maybe 3 years ago? Where it seemed like it was that hot out here. It was about 105 or 106, something like that.
That was just the actual temperature,
right?
Not the heat index that we're talking about today. It was just oppressive.
Came back and I remember they had a doubleheader in that heat.
Swing and a miss, and quickly the count 0-2. Cabrera just 2 hits in his last 13 at-bats. And Chris Johnson delivers, and Cabrera bangs it over into the seats beyond the Indians' dugout. Since Target Field opened back in 2010, the Indians have gone 18-19 against the Twins here at their new home. But last year, they had a big season going 7-3 against Minnesota here at Target Field. Now the 0-2. Missed outside with it. Now he misses inside, so Johnson trying to use both sides of the plate. But he's worked the count back to even now after misfiring on consecutive pitches. Twins have held their own in the Central Division, but they've got a lot of games in the division the rest of the way. 17-14 coming into tonight, and another strikeout. 2 down. Great clip of the game from yesterday. Yan Gomes continuing his tear. He's hit now in 5 straight games, 9 hits in his last 18 at-bats, including a pair of home runs. That one yesterday tried to get the Indians offense going. So Terry Francona putting him up in the lineup with all the right-handed bats. And he gives him the afforded luxury of just DHing, so he doesn't have to worry about the catching duties and all that goes with that. Just go up there and hit tonight.
Yeah, he caught 3 of those 4 games, but that gives Perez an opportunity to get in and get some at-bats, which is pretty good for him because he ended up catching the second game of that doubleheader in Detroit. So, yeah, this is a different-looking lineup for Terry Francona.
Outside corner. Chris Johnson looking very poised here at the outset. Doesn't have a lot of big league experience. Gomes pops it out of play. Just the 7th major league appearance of his career. Gomes batting .359 against left-handers, which is among the very best in the American League. He's also hit very well, period, against Minnesota. Gomes with 5 hits against the Twins. 3 of those 5 hits have been for home runs.
Now coming off a series in Detroit where he's smoked the Tigers, and he's hitting over 300 against the Central. The Indians have played 10 more games in the Central Division than Minnesota has.
Now the 1-2. Now the foul back, so Gomes fouling a number of pitches off, hoping to get one he can really hammer now.
3 teams, above the 500 level or mark in the Central. Of course, it's the Detroit, the Indians, and the Minnesota Twins.
Swung out and missed. He strikes out the side to start the game. Now the Twins are coming to bat when we come back.
Starting pitcher is T.J. House, making his 9th start. 1-2 record, 4.40 ERA, looking for his first win on the road.
And a fastball strike over the outside corner. Santana missed time with a left knee bruise. Was on the disabled list from June 27th until just recently, July 18th, he was activated. But earlier this year, against the Indians, he went 4 for 9.
This guy can fly, too. He can flat out run.
Wooden chase, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Broke his bat. Weak tapper to first. Santana's there. 1 away.
Let's check out the Kia Tribe defense behind house tonight. Little different look. It'll be Rayburn in left. Aviles makes his first start in center field. It'll be Swisher in right making his first start this year in the outfield. Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Santana at first. Perez gets the start behind the plate.
Brian Dozier. Guy's been a heck of a player for the Twins this year. You look at the numbers, 237, but look at how many bombs, 18 of them.
Well, he'll jump on that fastball if you think you're going to get ahead of him. And just try and throw him a fastball to get strike 1. He is ready for it.
0 for his last 10 at the plate as TJ House delivers, and it's grounded foul, third base side. Interesting look in the outfield. Let's bring in Katie with him. Katie, Mike Aviles getting the nod in center field tonight.
Yeah, and actually it's his first career major league start in center field. He played 2 innings against the Oakland A's and a little bit out in spring training. He was so excited about tonight because of being out there in center field. He talked about how there's more responsibility, more room to cover. But Rick, you can talk about this. He said the reads off the bat in center field, because of the way you're positioned, can almost be a little bit easier than those corner outfield spots.
Well, he'll feel very comfortable with it because he's a shortstop too, and then when you're in the middle of the field, you do get a better read off the bat. But I'll tell you what he better do: put your running shoes on, my friend, because you got to cover a lot more ground out there than you do in left and right.
Well, and especially in this park where it's 411,
yeah,
just to the left of straightaway center field, and 403 just to the right of straightaway center field. You got Nick Swisher out in right field, and Terry Francona says, I just like the fact that, you know, with Swish and Aviles, they're going to bring energy, and you're going to need some energy, obviously, to avoid any kind of a letdown. And so those guys they'll keep everybody fired up heading into this game here tonight.
Well, you can always change that defense if you can score and take the lead after about the 6th anyway, so it doesn't matter. You go out there, you get your right-handed bats in the lineup. As I mentioned, they're 4-14 against left-handers on the road. Totally different ball club at home against them.
Now the 1-1 to Trevor Plouffe, up and away. Plouffe is 4th in the American League with 28 doubles. 3 balls and a strike. Well, just as Terry Francona has loaded up his lineup with right-handed bats, so has Ron Gardenhire. They have 8 right-handed hitters in their lineup. To center field, Aviles got a late break, and he makes the catch on the warning track. Oh, so a little adventure sim, but Mike Aviles makes the catch deep in straightaway center, and the Twins go 1-2-3. Mike Aviles is telling him, I had it all the way.
Yeah, look at Bordy
Had
saying,
it all the way.
You better be thankful you caught that ball. Well, it's a 3-1 count, so a guy in the middle part of the lineup swings it. He thought he had a pretty good read on it, but that ball carried on him a little bit. But you know what? The bottom line, just make the catch. He did, and he'll take it. Watch, he's going to get it when he comes in. Look at Millsy over there.
Look at Michael Bourne.
And Brantley, too, with the night off. The center fielder's coming over there. Set.
In all seriousness, is that the hardest play, though? The ball hit right at you?
A line drive, sure. You know it's going to find you. First inning, it didn't take him 1 inning to get a ball hit over his head. But I'll tell you what, Michael, don't worry about it. Just catch it.
Indeed, he did. The Indians have 3 Mike depth in center field this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Michael Bourne, Michael Brantley, and now Mike Aviles. He'll be reliving that one all night.
Oh, yes. I'm going to check and see if he's playing in the same position starting next inning or he's cheating a little farther back.
Santana, routine bouncer to short. His woes continue. Just 2 for his last 15. 1 down here in the second. Up comes Ryan Rayburn. Ryan Rayburn takes, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Out of play to the right side. Oh, fine catch by a young fan who dropped the glove.
Did he snag it?
I think he did. Getting a lot of applause down there.
Well, whoever's behind him better thank him. Because he made a nice catch to save somebody.
Would have doinked off somebody's forehead. Now the 2-strike delivery. Well, I'll say this for Chris Johnson. He's been working ahead.
Yes.
And that's the key to pitching, especially when you're facing a guy that you've never seen before.
Well, and he's trying to use both sides of the plate. I mean, he's only faced, this is hitter number 5, but this is the first look that the Indians are going to get at him, and there's Rayburn.
Hard smash by Rayburn. Yeah, just past Plouffe. They tried to snag it, but could not.
Ball was hit very hard. Tried to come inside, and Rayburn got him. See, they wanted inside, and Rayburn's quick. And that ball hit harder, and Plouffe takes a 1 step, and it is by him.
All right, here's Nick Swisher. Swisher this year, 6 out of 26 against Minnesota with a home run. And it's low and away, ball 1. Just have that video image that our crew here in Minneapolis captured last year at the end of the game when the Indians clinched the American League wild card playoff berth. Of Kipnis and Swisher converging over there near first base. Nick with his arms raised in the air triumphantly as the Indians began to celebrate what was just an incredible run in the month of September to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, 21-6 record. They won their last 10 games. They swept Minnesota in a 4-game series.
If I remember right, I think Nick homered in that game to get it started. 3-0 pitch. Hit hard but foul. This is the one I'm referring to.
Yeah, how about that?
It's exaltation and it's a huge exhale all at the same time. I mean, like you said, Rick, you had to win 10 in a row, so everybody's on pins and needles.
Game 162
down the stretch. 3-1 pitch now, and Nick takes ball 4. And so the Indians have 2 on with 1 out. And up comes Roberto Perez.
Jason Kipnis made that great play to end the game.
And now the Indians are gearing up for what they hope will be another successful second half run. The surge has started off well enough, but they have to continue, and they all know that to a man. Roberto Perez just made his major league debut earlier this month. In fact, it was 11 days ago against the New York Yankees, and what a debut it was. And there's a bouncing ball, tailor-made double play, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the second. No score in Minnesota. No score, bottom of the second inning here at Target Field. And for the Twins, it will be Kenry Morales, Josh Willingham, and Kurt Suzuki. Kenry Morales, somewhat a mystery. I mean, in the offseason, he was available, free agent, couldn't find a home. And then, even more surprising that it was the Twins who end up signing him.
Well, they needed middle of the lineup help, power, if you will, RBIs, home runs. He's a switch hitter. He can play some first base, and Mauer was going to play first base over there, but he's still on the disabled list. But this guy has been a good hitter in his career. You know, when you go out there as free agency, it was Cruz never signed till what, after spring training started with Baltimore. There were a couple of guys down working out.
Bang foul. I don't have the date right in front of me, but I think Morales, it was just last month, I think, is when he inked his deal to sign on with Minnesota. And he jumped right into the lineup. They didn't. I thought maybe he'd end up doing some minor league time to get sharp, but he stepped right in. He's hit in 10 straight games coming into tonight. He has a career-long hit streak of 20 in a row. You see his career numbers, and in his career, he has been one of those tough outs for the Tribe. He's a career .314 hitter against the Indians, with 6 homers and 22 runs driven in. Up the middle, off the glove of Kipnis and into center field. A diving attempt by Jason, but he couldn't bring it in. And the beat goes on for Kenry Morales. He's got a hit to start the second inning. That'll give him a hit in now 11 straight games.
Well, he hit that ball pretty hard on the ground. Watch it as it gets to Kipnis. That second hop, it has top spin, goes off his glove. So the first hit for the Twins.
And now Josh Willingham. Had a big month of June. Led the Twins with 5 homers. Led them with 17 runs batted in. He's now just 11 homers shy of the 200 mark.
But you remember that first year he came to Minnesota after he signed a deal. What a year he had. Supplied the power, the RBIs, and just hasn't been the same since. Early in the year, was it last year, Justin Masterson hit him in the wrist and he went on the disabled list. And you can see that after 35 homers and 110 ribbies in his first year, down to 14, down to 8 this year. And in year number 2, he was hit by a Masterson pitch. Broke a bone in his wrist and just hasn't been the same since.
Last year he had a problem with a knee, a medial meniscus tear and a left knee bone bruise. Had surgery last July. Missed 33 games last year because of that. I mean, people want to sometimes go back and, well, he hasn't been the same since he got hit by Masterson, but can't really relate a hand injury to a knee problem.
No. Just it's been a slump.
Yeah.
He will be a free agent at the end of the year, but you know, a right-handed bat.
He punches it into right field. Takes it the other way.
Good piece of hitting right there with 2 strikes. So Minnesota will start the inning with their first 2 aboard. A couple of base hits. You know, you rarely would see him do this. That ball's down and in, and he usually tries to turn on anything inside, but that's a pretty good swing and an at-bat to take the base hit the other way.
Now Kurt Suzuki and Glenn Perkins were the Twins All-Star representatives this year. He's number 1 among American League catchers in batting average, hitting .305. He's going to right center field. That's extra bases. And the Twins are going to score 2 and take the lead. Very good approach by Minnesota here in the second inning. Morales up the middle. Willingham and Suzuki going to the opposite field. And Minnesota has a 2-0 lead.
That was my first thought, Matt. They are doing what they have to do to TJ House. You stay on him. You don't try to pull him. And the last 2 right-handers showed you why. Suzuki drives this ball into the gap, and by the time anybody could get it, Willingham scores from first base. So it's RBI 39 and 40 for Suzuki, and he will hit his 19th double. Minnesota not a team with a lot of power. They're 13th in the league with 71 homers.
Down the line, and that was very close. They're going to call it a home run. Now Nick Swisher is saying it's a foul ball, so that's going to bring out Terry Francona. I couldn't tell, Rick. It didn't glance off the pole, did it?
To be honest with you, I thought it might have hit something. I thought I saw something shake. I'm not sure. We're too far back to tell.
Swisher immediately calling it a foul ball. And that brings Terry Francona out to ask the umpires if they'll kindly take another look. This is not a challenge. This is simply, will you please take a look at it? And the umpires will do this. This is basically under the old replay system.
I thought I saw something reverberate that pole. See if the ball hits it. Hard to tell. It did. It deflected off the pole. Watch. Yes, right there at the top.
Oh, yeah.
It deflects off the outside part of the pole. It's going to be a home run. It hit the pole. I thought I saw something move that pole a little bit. I couldn't see the ball. Didn't have a very good view of it. But I think this is going to be a home run. I thought it hit the outside, or let's say the foul side of that pole, as far as you could go. The big part of it, not the netting.
I see what you're pointing out. It would appear to me that if it hit that pole, you would think it would have ricocheted more.
Well, it may have just grazed it.
If it didn't hit the pole, it's a foul ball.
Let's see.
Foul ball.
Wow. Okay, then it didn't hit the pole. Okay, so everything, you re-rack it and go back. Good break for the Indians. Call is overturned, and that was here's a slow motion. I thought it hit the pole.
This will really give us. Nope, it sure didn't. Just clean missed it. That's a great second look right there.
Well, that's a huge break for the Indians.
Well, Chris Colabello, he's already hit 2 home runs against the Indians this year. He's a big guy with power. But he'll do that a lot too. 0-2.
Well, he had 27 RBIs in the month of April and was leading the league. And whatever happened to him, he ended up going back down to the minor leagues. The league caught up to him, didn't make adjustments. But he's back up here again.
Swing and a miss, strikes out. And Roberto Perez will throw to first to complete the out. 1 away. That'll bring up Chris Parmelee. He's the only left-handed bat in the lineup. Why, you ask? Well, he's batting .341 against left-handed pitching this year.
Well, maybe that the light went off like it did for Lonnie Chisenhall. And he's had a few at-bats. He's had some big league exposure. Then all of a sudden, something clicks. Total difference. That's the opposite of what you would think it would be.
In for a strike. And TJ House gets ahead 0-2. Kurt Suzuki, the runner at second base with 1 out. Down towards short. Cabrera, backhander. Throws him out. 2 down.
Well, fans, follow every Indians game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. You get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB TV game of the day, and more. You can download on the App Store, or you can visit Indians.com today.
Not sure what happened to his dribble Cabrera, but Terry Francona was coming out of the dugout, and he was headed out to check on Cabrera at shortstop, but he waved him back to the dugout. Looks like he's
a little hip.
He's definitely uncomfortable. He's wincing. But he waved Terry Francona back in. Terry's still got his eyes on him, checking him out. That's a fly ball to left field. Routine. Rayburn is there and makes the catch. And we'll watch Cabrera as he gingerly comes over towards the Indians dugout. That does not look good. 2-0. The Twins have the lead as we roll now to the third inning. We'll get you updated on the status of Asdrubal Cabrera just as soon as we can. It certainly did not look good, though, as he came off the field. Lonnie Chisenhall, Mike Aviles, and Jason Kipnis due up. If anybody should reach, then Cabrera would be due up fourth in the inning. We'll keep an eye on that. Lonnie, a .308 career hitter against the Minnesota Twins. And he takes a strike from Chris Johnson, who has yielded one hit. He's walked one and he has struck out 3. All 3 strikeouts came in the first. And Lonnie flinched, takes it. It's a called strike and it's 0-2. Well, Boston tonight beating the stuffing out of Toronto. 13-1 Red Sox over the Blue Jays. Is you have to wonder what's going on in Toronto. Chisenhall with a smash into center field.
0-2 base hit. You have to love that.
Let's go back and look at Asdrubal Cabrera. See if you can pick up anything, Ricky. Oh, he was wincing as he threw that ball. Almost makes you wonder if there wasn't something wrong before, the play happened. He was having trouble just reaching down, bending over to try and pick that ball up. He stayed in there, but they're giving him a once-over, I'm sure, either in the trainer's room or down in the dugout right now, checking him out.
I don't know how he did it. Guess we'll have to find out. Wait and find out.
Mike Aviles has swung the bat well against the Twins this year. He's 8 for 17. Indians might want to think about that opposite field approach that Minnesota took to TJ House. Lonnie chased back. Ball to short. They flip it to short or second base for 1. They don't get the double play. I think Chris Dickerson is going to move to the on deck circle. At least that looked like that's who had a bat down in the Indians dugout.
Well, bat, yeah.
Yeah, Dickerson has moved to the on deck circle, so at least for the moment it does not appear as though Asdrubal Cabrera will be returning. 1 on 1 out. Jason Kipnis struck out his first time up. Runner goes. Got a great break and the throw. Not in time. Mike Aviles with his 9th stolen base of the year. He got a terrific jump off Chris Johnson, and Kurt Suzuki still made it a close play at second.
He guessed right. You're right. He went on first movement, a tremendous jump, and Suzuki did a beautiful job just to make it close. That ball was down, but he fired a seed right there, right on target. He went on first movement, straight steal. You could tell because his head is straight down, and he steals the base. Number 9 for Aviles. That sign comes from the dugout. Go on first movement.
Chance to pick up a run with a base hit now. It just pops it out of play. Over his last 22 games, Kipnis is batting .297. Ball towards second base, backhanded by Dozier, and he throws him out 2 away. Aviles moves to third. And now we will officially get the pinch hitter Chris Dickerson for Asdrubal Cabrera. don't forget you can tweet your photos to us using the hashtag STOFanPhoto for a chance to have them shown during one of our telecasts. It's all courtesy of AT&T. Dickerson this year has done a terrific job since coming over to the Indians. In the 9 games he has played, he's got 10 hits in 24 at-bats. And I would imagine, Rick, he'll be going to center field, and Mike Aviles will be coming in to play shortstop.
I would certainly think so. Say, hey, kid's got to come play short. He made the one play out there, and now he's got to come back to the infield
and change his glove. Dickerson with a line drive base hit into right field, and the Indians will get on the board. He continues to swing a hot bat. That's 11 hits in 25 at bats. And the pinch hit RBI single gets the Indians on the board. It's a 2-1 Minnesota lead here in the third.
Going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. A 2-out base hit. A lot of times once the Indians get their first one, everybody else can relax. So Dickerson wasn't even in the game. He's coming up to fill in for Cabrera. He steps up and drills it into right field. The Indians answer that 2-run bottom half of the inning the Twins put on the board, and it's 2-1.
Chris just seems genuinely excited to have an opportunity. I mean, and I think that's the case. Anybody who spent time in the big leagues, when you're back in the minor leagues, you just want another shot. And he was in the minor leagues with Pittsburgh, and he understood it. You know, they had the Polanco kid who was getting the call up. He's their big future guy over there. And he looked at this and saying, hey, you know what? It's a second chance for me. I'm going to try to make the most of it, and boy, has he.
Well, he certainly has. You're fighting for your life every day to stay in the big leagues. There's nothing wrong with that. Boy, he's done well.
Rick, how about on the road trip now? The Indians have scored 22 runs. 13 of them have come with 2 outs.
Yeah. Okay.
Clutch hitting has been important.
Well, the clutch hitting's been there. The long ball has been there in the month of July. It's starting to come around. And that's what has to continue for this team to take off.
Well, both Nick Swisher and Jason Kipnis have said, you know, look, the run we had last year that got us into the playoffs, we know that we can do things. We have a level of confidence because of what we accomplished a year ago. So they've got a good feeling as a team. They feel like their best baseball is certainly ahead of them. The question is, will they be able to play to that level to get them back to where they want to be? Because they're going to have to be able to sustain it.
They did it last year, and they know they can do it. But now they have to prove they can do it to not only themselves, to the rest of the teams that are playing.
Well, they spotted Minnesota too early here tonight, trying to battle back. Dickerson, the tying run at first.
Think how lucky they are. That foul ball that was overturned, that call. Could have been 4-0. Stayed at 2-0, and they come back and they put one on the board. So a big swing.
There's Johnson with a payoff pitch as Dickerson takes off, and Gomes fouls it back, but he had a tough time getting any kind of a jump. He was actually leaning back towards first before he took off towards second base.
You don't get a jump. The key here, you don't get picked off. It's not a running lead. It's almost like he waits till the ball's on its way to the plate.
Yeah,
is what you do. So it's really no jump at all.
And it's fouled away again. This is the similar kind of at bat Gomes had his first time up. Battled him, a number of foul balls, but eventually he went down swinging. And it's low, ball 4. Second walk issued by Johnson. And the Indians have 2 on with 2 out, and Carlos Santana coming up.
Well, get $15 free by purchasing Kids Value tickets for the Indians Mariners series. That'll take place at the end of the month. Kids can use the $15 on concessions or merchandise stands when purchased with an adult ticket. Visit Indians.com, Kids Value, and purchase your tickets today.
Carlos Santana grounded to short. His only time up. Pitch count suddenly piling up for Chris Johnson. He's at 48. And he's outside with it, ball 1.
Remember what I told you when he started against the Dodgers, his first start out in it was right here against the Dodgers, 106 pitches in 4 1/3 innings. So he threw a boatload of pitches. Don't know if he was nervous because it was his first start.
Santana pops it in the air. And the other Santana makes the catch. But Chris Dickerson comes off the bench. Pinch hits for the ailing Asdrubal Cabrera. Gets the Indians on the board. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to stay tuned later in the game. Get off your phone. Get off your phone. We've got Miller Time brought to you by Miller Lite coming up in a little bit here at Target Field. All right, here's the changes now for the Tribe. Chris Dickerson stays in the ballgame. He's in center field, and Mike Aviles, as expected, has taken over for Cabrera at shortstop. No word yet on what exactly knocked Cabrera out of the ballgame and how potentially serious it is, but it appeared to be grabbing at his left hip. Falls down the line in trouble.
Watch this kid
around the corner.
He's going for 3. He's not even thinking. Oh, he stopped.
Swisher got a good throw to the cutoff man Kipnis, and Santana has a leadoff double.
I expected him to kick it into gear. Second double now for the Twins, but this one down the line, that ball was elevated by House. And I thought he had it all planned. He picks up his third base coach, but they didn't want to push it. As you mentioned, he was on the DL, had a little bone bruise in his knee, but put it down. He picked up his coach and stopped. His coach was stopping him. If he was back and playing, I bet he would have kept his head down and just kept right on running. Yeah, the one thing you have to do is make that kid stop out there at second base. Avila is doing his job of sneaking behind him, trying to keep him close.
Back out of play. 0-2 on Brian Dozier. You recognize Santana has that terrific speed at the top of the lineup. But it's Brian Dozier who's tied for the major league lead in runs scored. He and Troy Tulowitzki of Colorado have both scored 71 runs this year.
Well, he was at the top part of that lineup, and 18 times he's driven himself home to touch home plate, so that certainly helps. You know, you look at the Twins, they're 8th in the league in runs scored with 400 and, well, now they have 410.
And the 1-2 delivery is banged on the ground to short. Avila scoops it off balance throw in time, 1 away.
You know, you look at the Twins and how their approach is to T.J. House, who he's never faced him before. There you see a hit up the middle, and there was a 2-strike pitch on one of their power hitters going the other way. And then Suzuki plugs the gap to right center field. And then look at that, another ball going the other way. That's a really good approach. So what that tells me that House is going to have to do, and Perez is going to have to make adjustments, is they're going to have to pitch inside a little bit more and keep the ball away from out over that plate because they're trying to take it that way. Now Willingham hit a ball down and in. Now he's going to go down and away.
That's Trevor Plouffe, who drives it deep to left center field, all the way to the wall. And the run will score as Santana trots home easily. The ball gets away from the cutoff man. Throw to third. Got him. So Plouffe is erased for the second out of the inning, but not before he drives home Santana to make it a 3-1 Minnesota lead.
There's a ball that he left middle of the plate, and Willingham, that's what I'm used to seeing him do, is trying to turn on. Or excuse me, Plouffe. He plugged the gap in left center field, and then you can see that's good hustle by Kipnis to come over there and pick that ball up and get him at third base. After the throw got away. So it's a double RBI.
And now Kenry Morales with 2 down, who singled and scored to start the second inning for Minnesota. Twins have already hammered out 5 hits off T.J. House. And that's in for a strike. And the 2-1. That pitch missed inside. 3 balls and a strike. To third, fair ball. Chisenhall with a terrific throw. Santana hangs on the bag for the final out. But Minnesota brought their hitting shoes to the yard here tonight, and they lead it 3-1.
Dog night that takes place Friday, August 1st. The Indians will host the Texas Rangers. Adrian Beltre and the boys will be in town. There will be post-game fireworks after the ball game set to the hit songs of 1994. So you can get your tickets at Indians.com.
Ryan Rayburn going to lead off the fourth now for Cleveland. He singled his first time up. Rayburn snapped an 0 for 8 with his base hit in the second inning. Jumps ahead of the count, 2 balls and a strike. And foul right back to the screen. Chase one up high, strikes out. 4th strikeout for Johnson, 1 down here in the 4th. Time now for our Hear Right Audiology sounds of the game. Here's Mike Aviles on the Tribe trying to avoid a letdown.
You really have to let yourself know, hey, these games are important. Regardless of who you're playing, just know that they're in our division and they're very important. I mean, I think we all know that, you know, before the break, we knew that coming out of the break that we had 11 games in 10 days, and they're all going to be pretty much division foes. So if that doesn't pump you up, I don't know what's going to pump you up. But don't worry, I'll be rattling cages in here trying to get people woken up.
He does that on a daily basis.
Well, you know, and there's guys that do that have the personalities to do that, and Mike's one of them. You know, he can do it. I mean, he has that personality. Not everybody can do that, but he will rattle cages. He'll make sure nobody sits down and relaxes. They know how important it is. But they're going to have to come from behind today. That's the one. You like to get the lead if you can, to get it going, to set the tempo. Tonight, it's going to be the other way. They're going to have to come back.
And Swisher, big chopper to third. Plouffe throws it offline, and Swisher's aboard on the errant throw with 1 out here in the 4th.
You could see that as soon as he let it go. Took a lot of time, realizing he had time because Swisher was running, but when you watch the throw, he brings Morales off the bag. Here he goes, step. A lot of time to think about it, and almost like he aimed it. That dart went crooked. Morales did a nice job just catching the ball, getting off the base to catch it. So Swisher reaches on an error. That's only the 48th error for the Twins this year.
Well, Roberto Perez banged into a double play his first time up. And he takes up an away ball 1. Perez, I mentioned earlier, made his major league debut earlier this month against New York. Picked up his first major league hit, first major league RBI, and his first big league homer, all in the same game.
That was overturned. Never really had the chance to trot around the bases. They said it went off the top of the wall, and he was stuck at second base. After they reviewed it, they said, come on home, big man. Congratulations on your first major league homer.
Just a slight pause. The 1-0.
We've seen a lot of that this year when it comes to replays, plays that are overturned. And what do you think about it so far the first half of the year?
To be honest with you, I think it's working. I mean, I think it's what the fans want. I think it's what the players and managers wanted. So, yeah, I'll go along.
Okay.
I'll tell you, at first I wasn't.
Yeah, I think the calls are there. You can see it now. I think the umpires are used to it.
And I think they've done a good job, Rick. It hasn't been drawn out. It hasn't made the games. I don't think it hasn't made the games last any longer because
I agree.
You don't have 16 challengers. You know, you've got to use them judiciously.
Well, the things I like about it is it makes the umpires bear down a little bit more on tag plays at second base, on guys coming off the base with their foot. They really can't give up on plays, and I like that. And they know if they do, you have the replay that can overturn it, and they don't want to have their one of their calls overturned.
It's made everybody better. It's made the umpires better.
I agree.
And while we miss some of the antics
with the arguments,
we don't really need that.
No, I'll tell you what. I think the umpires have done it. It goes to show you how good a job they did anyway. Sure, you're going to miss some. They're only human, but at the rate that this game and the speed of this game that it has, they only get one look at it and one time only. And if they're in the right position, more times than not, they're absolutely right, and they do a really good job.
And I think you just really kind of hit it on the head with regards to the positioning. If an umpire's not in position, why not get him some help? Because especially on the tag play at second base, he's got to pick a spot to be in. He can't move while the ball's coming down there. And a lot of times, if the tag's on the outfield side of the bag, he can't see where the tag occurs.
He's guessing that he's tagged.
Yeah.
And like we've seen a couple of times, it could be a swipe tag that he misses. But it is overturned, and eventually they do get it right. I like it.
2-1 pitch. Oh, this is a good hit down the right field line. Oh, it's just foul.
Out of our view, that looked like it was fair all the way. And he was running hard, so that had to tell you that thing had to slice right till the bitter end. Because you see it down in that corner. Ooh. Yeah, about a foot. Boy, that would have been just what the doctor ordered.
So Perez comes back for another crack. Perez out of Puerto Rico. Very good technically from a defensive standpoint behind the plate. And like so many catchers, it's going to come down to how much he can hit.
Well,
swinging a foul back.
For him down the road it will, but as many games as he's going to play with Gomes getting most of the catches. See, that's why tonight with the left-hander out there, I like what Terry did. He gives this kid an opportunity to catch, give Gomes a break from his knees, and let Gomes' bat stay in the lineup. And then this kid will get more playing time instead of sitting on the bench watching all day. Gomes caught 3 out of 4 games in Detroit. And the more at-bats you get, I mean, this is the first time for him. He's looking at these pitchers for the first time.
2-2. Off the end of the bat foul. Well, the other thing, too, you know, with Terry being able to bat Gomes tonight, but DHing, and with all of the right-handed bats, he doesn't like to tinker with the lineup that much. But here's a chance where he said, you know what, I can bat Gomes third because we're all right-handed tonight. He doesn't have to worry about catching and all that pressure. So perfect opportunity to get him more at bats in the game by batting him third.
Yeah, and Michael Brantley, he gets the night off, or at least part of the night off. But Minnesota bullpen now, you don't want to let them have a lead. They've got a pretty good bullpen as well. They're right behind the Indians, ranked in the league as far as ERA goes. They got a few left-handers out of that bullpen they can match up with.
Good at bat here for Perez. He's worked the count to 3-2. Swisher reached on the throwing error. Indians trying to make Minnesota pay. They've been pretty good defensively. That's just the 3rd error in their last 12 games now. Only one American League team had fewer errors in their last 11 games coming in. And that was Baltimore. They only committed 1 miscue. Think about those last 11 games. That's over 400 chances defensively. Hit pretty well to center field, but cruising back, Santana makes the catch. 2 down. Time now for a Mazda game break, and we go back to the studios. Here's Al Pawlowski.
They've been playing much better baseball in Boston.
Yeah.
Them and Tampa. I mean, they buried themselves early, but.
Yeah, and because no one has run away with that division, everybody's still hanging around. I mean, first to last, 7.5 games separates everybody in the division coming into tonight.
Yeah, two of the hotter teams are Tampa and Boston.
A little bit outside, Alani Chisenhall. A base hit his first time up.
On an 0-2 pitch.
Indians have 3 hits. All 3 hits have been singles. Twins have 5 hits. 3 of their 5 hits have been doubles, which is why they have the 3-1 lead. They're telling us, says Drupal Cabrera, the official explanation for him leaving, lower back spasms. 1-2. Pulled to first. Morales will take it himself. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Minnesota 3, Cleveland 1. Brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Justin Masterson made a rehab start last night at AAA Columbus. He went 5 innings. Walked 2, struck out 6. Made 71 pitches. Let's bring in Katie once again. Katie, what's the latest on the plan going forward now with Masterson?
Well, you're going to see him very soon. He's on his way back to Minnesota to rejoin the team. Well, he'll continue to rehab with the trainers and throw a side session with pitching coach Mickey Callaway. But the plan is for him to make another rehab start with the Columbus Clippers on Friday. Terry Francona said that Masterson wanted to come back and pitch, but they feel like one more start is beneficial because when he comes back, the DL will be over.
All right. Thanks a lot, Katie. Josh Willingham singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Takes a strike. It's 2-1. Michael Bourne is with the club. You may have seen him in the dugout earlier tonight. He's continuing to make improvement from the hamstring injury. He's been throwing here in Minnesota, hitting off the tee and jogging. So it's incremental steps, step by step, trying to get back to full tilt where he can help the club on the field. But Terry Francona said, look, it's not a month, but he's not ready by the end of the week either.
Yeah, you can't push it because it's happened a couple of times this year, you know, and you try and rush it back, you could blow it out again. At
some point, he said he wants to get him out on some rehab games, and that's where he'll be able to really test it, because it's one thing to test it when you're out here on the field with the trainers, but in a game where you don't think, you just react, that's where the real test comes.
Or you hit a ball where you have to do something that little extra, you know, all out and do something special, whether it's get a jump in the outfield or try and beat out an infield hit.
3-2 pitch. I don't know what was wrong with it. Called ball 4, and the Twins get their leadoff man aboard. First walk issued by T.J. House here tonight.
So you'll get Perez. That is a little off the plate.
Yep.
It looks good. House may have thought he had it. Jim Wolf's a pretty good ball strike umpire.
Kurt Suzuki drove in a pair with a double in the second inning. And he steps in 5th in the American League in home batting average. He has thrived here at Target Field, batting .333. He spins out of the way, ball 1.
See, that's what he's doing. He's trying to pitch inside more. Those guys going the other way, so he has to go in there. Now he is just missing. He's got to bring it just a touch in on the plate and get a couple called strikes, and it may help him. But he's trying to make that adjustment now that he has to make. You know, the first at-bat from Kurt Suzuki, he took him the other way. That ball was sort of middle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't in.
That was right down the middle.
Yeah, it wasn't a good pitch. But now you got to try and get in there. And if you miss it, you miss it. Off the plate.
Missed outside with it, 2-1. Spun him out of the way. 3 balls and a strike. Just has not been as sharp as we have seen T.J. House.
No, they're forcing him to make a change in his game plan, and that's what he's trying to do. And it's just right now it's tough for him to do.
Threw it by him in a full count. Elevated the fastball. Might not have been a strike, but Suzuki turned it loose with a 3-1 count. Willingham, the leadoff man at first. To left center, another gapper. Cut off by Dickerson. His throw to second base, and it is in time. Suzuki erased on a terrific hustling play by Chris Dickerson, who first cut it off in the gap and then made a strong throw to second base to erase him.
You know, I don't know if Suzuki coming out of the box really actually thought it was going to be a double. He tried to kick it in after he hit first base, and then he realized that Dickerson had the ball and he was making a throw. Doubles usually start from home plate. He did a nice job of cutting the ball off and getting it in. And the throw was right there, and Suzuki a little tardy getting there, and Kipnis applied the tag. So the Indians catch another break. Good play by Dickerson and Kipnis. And Suzuki, I think he might have.
He never got to the bag. That was part of the problem for him.
He lost his step in along the way somewhere.
Infield in with a runner at third and 1 out. And Chris Colabello, the batter, struck out his first time up.
Yeah, so far it's score 3-1, but they've had a couple of runners thrown out on the bases. The Twins have.
Could have made it worse, no doubt, Rick.
Could have.
Trevor Plouffe was thrown out at third base with only one out in the third inning. That was the second out when he was nabbed. Down low. 1-1. Swung on and missed. Ooh, nice grab by Perez. That looked like it might have been headed to the backstop. And a reminder, too, if you're watching and maybe haven't seen many games on television from Target Field, if the ball hits the stone face behind the catcher there, it will ricochet back in a hurry.
Yeah.
So runners at third are sometimes at a disadvantage because just because it gets past the catcher doesn't mean you automatically can get home.
Yeah, if you hit that peanut butter cup sign, it may deaden it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to keep your eye on it.
That limestone.
That happened in the All-Star game too.
Did it?
Yeah, that happened where a ball hit that limestone. It came right back to the catcher. He threw back, and it was a National Leaguer on third base. He did make a heads-up play just to get back.
It gives the ballpark a very unique and gorgeous look, but it also can make for some tricky hops.
Yes, indeed. That would be what you call maybe a little home field advantage.
Yeah, once you figure out what it's going to do. Outside with it. And the count is full now.
Nice.
We're going to foul back.
Oh, I thought he had him. Got a piece of it. Change up a little bit.
Again, the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him to go fish. Chased one in the dirt, and that is out number 2. Second strikeout for House. Both have come at the expense of Chris Colabello.
Yeah, let him swing over the top of that slider. It was a ball to begin with right from the get-go, but Colabello wanted to drive that run in from third base so badly that he didn't take the walk, and so he gets the out. He said he just told himself, stupid, right there. What am I doing? You know, you take the walk, you move it along, but you try to drive that run in so bad because that's why he's here. They want him to drive in runs.
Now Chris Parmalee takes all ball up high.
So the aggressiveness certainly helps out T.J. House and the Indians.
And Parmalee waves at it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Action in the Indians bullpen now. C.C. Lee is getting loose. T.J. House 68 pitches on the night. And that's outside. Make it 70 now for House, the left-hander. Falls behind 3-1 to the only left-handed hitter in the lineup.
Well, this could be his last hitter.
He missed badly. Ball 4. Second walk of the inning. Now it would appear that Terry Francona is going to give him at least one more batter as Eduardo Escobar steps in. Escobar, though, he's a little guy that swings like a big man. He'll turn it loose. 275 average on the year. He's batting .299 against left-handed pitching. And coming in, he's got a 6-game hitting streak in which he's gone 11 for 23. And House pounds the strike zone to get ahead. Jamden rolls it to third. Chisenhall flips it over, and the inning is over. No runs a hit, 2 men left, and after 4, it's the Twins 3, the Indians 1. Baseball is brought to you by Sunnyside Honda at I-71 and Pearl Road in Middleburg Heights. By Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by Kia. Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. The land of 10,000 lakes. The state of Minnesota. And from downtown Minneapolis, Target Field. The Twins lead the Indians 3-1 as we go now to the 5th inning. Mike Aviles, Jason Kipnis, and Chris Dickerson due up for the Tribe. Another left-handed starter proving troublesome for the Tribe. He's given up 1 hit and allowed just 1 run, just 3 hits. He's walked a couple, struck out 4. Aviles swats one to center. And Danny Santana will make the grab for out number 1. Now you can always have the latest information on the Indians right at your fingertips. Follow Tribe reporter Joe Reedy from FoxSportsOhio.com on Twitter at Joe Reedy for the latest news and stories on your favorite team. Jason Kipnis is 0 for 2. He has struck out, grounded out. Three-time American League Player of the Week award winner. Second Indian this year after Michael Brantley captured the honors earlier this season. Swung or pitch that went up and in on Kipnis. Almost hit him. 2-0. And that's low. 3 balls, no strikes. Another lazy fly ball to center field. Easy play for Santana. 2 quick outs.
Well, Indians all-time home run leader Jim Thome will be honored Saturday, August 2nd, when the Texas Rangers will be in town. Thome's statue will be unveiled in center field, and the fans will receive a replica statue. Also, fireworks to follow that ball game as well. Visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Chris Dickerson has driven in the Indians' only run, and that came when he pinch hit for Asdrubal Cabrera in the 3rd inning. Cabrera left the game with lower back spasms.
Well, how many times do we see it? A guy that's not supposedly in the original starting lineup. They put you in the game, or right before it, he gets a high fastball, 2-out base hit, drives in the only run the Indians have so far.
Now he's down 0-2. And just missing with that 2-strike pitch was Johnson. He's wondering, where was it?
Check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. A little low.
Chris fouling it out of play, stays alive, 1-2. 80 pitches now for Johnson tonight, and 50 of the 80 have been strikes. Just missed inside. They appeal, and he did not go. That was clearly inside, but now the 2-2. Full count. If Dickerson gets aboard, Yan Gomes would get an opportunity. And the payoff pitch. Low, ball 4.
How about that for an at-bat?
From 0-2 to a walk.
3rd walk for Johnson.
And the batter will be Yan Gomes, who struck out in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd. They're both times up, Rick. And this is what I'm curious to see this 3rd time around. He's seen a lot of pitches.
Yes, he has. He was, what, 3-2 on both at-bats, fouling him off. This is the longest start so far this year by Johnson, 4 2/3 innings. He went 4 1/3 in his first start, 4 innings in his second start. So we'll see how it goes if he can get through this 5th. How Ron Gardenhire wants to play it. He's been fine. He's given up only 3 hits, all singles.
3rd time, though, through the lineup. Gomes fouls it off 3rd base side. Gomes down on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. So Gomes had seen 14 pitches in his first 2 at-bats. So this will be the 17th pitch he's seen from Johnson tonight. Hammered to left field, down the line, fair ball. That'll go to the wall. Dickerson speeding into third, going to be waved home. He'll have to get on his horse. Oh, they overthrow the cutoff man, and the Indians will get a run. Dickerson scores all the way from first base on the 2-out RBI double by Yan Gomes. And on the 17th pitch he saw from Johnson tonight, he finally connects to cut the Twins' lead to a single run.
How about that? Another 0-2 base hit. He gave up the 0-2 hit to Chisenhall. And then this time Gomes lines it down. And Mike Sarbaugh being very aggressive with Dickerson running. But Willingham makes a mistake. Overthrows his cutoff man, and they don't have a play at the dish. So it's a 3-2 lead. First extra base hit for the Indians and the 15th double for Gomes.
And now the tying run in scoring position for Carlos Santana, who left 2 on base in the 3rd inning when he flied to center. Rick, you talked about the 0-2 hit that he gave up to Chisenhall, the 0-2 hit he gave up to Gomes, but the 0-2 to a walk to Dickerson to keep the inning alive comes up huge now.
Exactly. So both runs the Indians have scored tonight with 2 outs.
Line drive, base hit right field. Coming around third. Gomes will get the stop sign because it got to Parmalee quickly, and he got off a pretty good throw to his cutoff man. So Santana with a good opposite field take it the other way approach. And now 3 straight have reached with 2 outs in the inning, and out comes pitching coach Rick Anderson.
You know, 9 times out of 10 you're going to send a guy with 2 outs. But watch, by the time Parmalee gets that ball in right, Gomes was not even at third base. And I know it pains Sarbaugh not sending him, but he had to hold him up, even though that throw, he spiked it into the ground.
He's out by 10 feet, I think, if he doesn't. I mean, because he got it so quickly.
Well, right, and you can't send your DH/catcher. You can't send him with 2 outs. If it was a little bit closer, if he could have got to the bag before Parmalee gets the ball, he would have sent him. But you hold him up, you move it along, you give Rayburn an opportunity. So 2 straight hits, 3 straight have reached with 2 outs here in the 5th. Now that Twins bullpen is up, and of course it's going to be a left-hander.
Rayburn pops it up. And the right fielder Parmalee makes the grab. Indians get a run closer. 2-out RBI double by Yan Gomes. Plays Chris Dickerson. 3-2 Twins, middle of the 5th. Well, it looks like Chris Johnson's day is over. You see manager Ron Gardenhire come over. Gives him the handshake. He'll leave with the lead, and he'll leave at least with an opportunity to win it, but it's a 3-2 ball game. Important now for TJ House to go out there and throw up a 0.
Yes, it is.
Tribe has their bullpen busy behind him.
They should, because they got to be ready to go. Last time the Tribe scored, he let the Twins come back and answer.
Pops him up. Danny Santana shoots it high in the sky, and Aviles at shortstop has it. 1 away.
Well, you can celebrate Slider's birthday at Progressive Field. That'll take place Sunday, August 3rd, ending that Rangers series. Slider's mascot friends will be in town and celebrate that birthday party. Kids, you get a chance to run the bases afterwards, so come on out to the ballpark. It should be a fun weekend all weekend long when we return home.
Brian Dozier tonight 0 for 2. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Breaking ball popped him
Jammed
up.
him.
Kipnis says, I'll take it. He does. 2 down. Hey, coming up on Monday, join Nick Swisher and his wife Joanna for a terrific event at Progressive Field. Mission Swisher Celebrity Scavenger Hunt. You and 8 friends can partner up with one of 4 celebrities, or one of their celebrities, to search for the grand prize. Scavenger hunt is from 4 to 6 p.m., followed by the silent auction, food and drinks. All the proceeds benefit the Swisher Family Foundation. Call 310-525-3755 for more information. A little bit low to Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe fly to center in the first. Then he set an RBI double just to the left of straightaway center field in the third. Well, he's been aggressive and he's hit the ball hard both times up. CC Lee getting loose for the second time tonight. He was up earlier. Hit foul. House just over 80 pitches on the night. And the 2-2 runs up high.
I send along a happy birthday wish to Mary Voitko, turning 96 today, living in West Park. Mary, happy birthday to you.
And again, it's foul. You can see why Plouffe has been swinging the bat well. In his last 17 hits, I'm going to make that 18. Last 18 hits, Rick. He's got 7 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs.
Wow. With authority, huh?
Well, he draws a walk. Probably not a bad move by House. Make him hit your pitch. Don't give him anything fat that he can handle. And up comes Kendry Morales, who singled and scored in the second, grounded out to third base his last time up. Morales with a hit now in 11 straight games. They're in the 9th inning in Toronto, where the Red Sox are about to polish off the Blue Jays 14-1. In there for a strike. White Sox lead the Royals 2-1 in Chicago. They're in the 6th inning. Detroit out in front of Arizona 2-0. They're in the 2nd out in the desert. Rick.
Chris Sale for the White Sox over there against Kansas City. They'll be coming to Minnesota for a 4-game series after we leave and head on to Kansas City.
House missing again. It's 2-1. Good chance this is the last hitter of the night for TJ. C.C. Lee is ready. Got the right-handed bat Willingham on deck. Morales, of course, a switch hitter. Chopped to short. Should get him out of the inning. Big hop for Aviles. Throws him out. And the inning is over. 5 complete. That's the Twins 3 and the Indians 2. Well, the Twins lead it 3-2 as we roll on now to the 6th inning. We've got some changes to tell you about, but first, time for our AT&T fan photo. Remember, you can tweet your photos to us using the hashtag STOFanPhoto for a chance to have them shown during one of our telecasts. It's all courtesy of AT&T. Today's Cleveland led a call to the bullpen. Caleb Thielbar, another left-hander.
Well, they have, a couple left-handers. They have their closer Perkins, a left-hander. They also have Brian Dunsing, who we always seem to face him when we play him. But Thielbar, the first one out. He had a tremendous month of June. Had an ERA of 1 in 9 innings pitched. And held his opponents to a 200 batting average.
For the Indians here in the 6th, it will be Nick Swisher, Roberto Perez, and Lonnie Chisenhall. Up and away, ball 1. Swish walked in the 2nd inning, and he reached on a throwing error by Trevor Plouffe in the 4th. Good fastball that time from Thielbar. His location, a 1-1. Breaking ball. And Nick does not like it. Look at the difference of 69 miles an hour after the 89 mile an hour fastball.
Now let's look at it. It's the big slow hook.
Told you yesterday, Nick's been doing a good job of just staying in the box, trying to erase what happened last pitch. He had to
take some time.
That one.
Yes, he did. And you know what? Understandable.
Rolls it to short. Escobar able to throw that one away. Our in-game recap brought to you by Toyota. Kurt Suzuki, opposite field, 2-run double as it helped the Minnesota Twins get out in front 2-0 early. Then Chris Dickerson with a pinch hit RBI single got the Tribe on the board. Minnesota led 3-1 until Yan Gomes with a 2-out RBI double in the 5th cut Minnesota's lead to a single run, and that's where we are here in the 6th with 1 out. Roberto Perez is 0 for 2. Up the middle, cut off by Escobar, and he'll throw. Perez is retired, 2 down. Up comes Lonnie Chisenhall, 1 out of 2 tonight with a single. And he misses inside for ball 1. At home this year, Minnesota has gone 21-25, and on the road they're 23-28. Twins are 9 games below the 500 mark, which leaves them 11 games out of first in the AL Central. But if you look at the wild card standings, they would only be 7.5 games out of a wild card spot. Now you could look at that and say, well, you know, that's still within striking distance. That's reasonable. But the problem is there are 5, 6, 7 teams, and that makes it a lot more difficult.
That you're chasing. You're chasing a boatload of guys, and not all of them are going to go south.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Strike call. Terry Ryan has been a tremendous general manager throughout his career, and I'm sure that he's sizing up potential trade partners, trying to see if they can move some pieces to bolster their team for the future, but who knows?
There's Terry right there. He was so good they had to bring him back.
Lonnie Chisenhall, swing and a miss, strikes out, and the Indians go 1-2-3 for the first time since the first inning. It's a 3-2 Minnesota lead, bottom of the 6th inning here at Target Field. And T.J. House will exit after 5 innings of work. We'll give way to C.C. Lee.
Yeah, we'll turn it over to the bullpens now to finish this game. Both of them very good. The Indians just a hair better out of the bullpen than the Twins are. But Lee's coming on for the 15th time this year.
Well, Lee's got Josh Willingham, Kurt Suzuki, and Chris Colabello, 3 right-handed hitters. And in the bullpen, left-hander Nick Hagedorn getting loose for Cleveland. Willingham singled and scored in the 2nd inning. He walked leading off the 4th, but was stranded at 3rd base. There have been a couple of key defensive plays here tonight for the Indians, both on throws from the outfielders. And a strike is called. One fouled right back. Willingham, always a dangerous hitter. I mean, only has 8 home runs this year, but as I said before, 5 of those came in the month of June. Just inside.
Well, when he's on his game and he's swinging the bat like he can, he's a dangerous hitter when you pitch him inside from the middle of the plate in.
Hit hard, deep center. Dickerson back. He's got room in front of the track, in fact, to pull it down for out number 1. Well, as I mentioned, the Indians defensively have cut down a couple of key runners.
Yes.
That have kept Minnesota from getting farther away. And Katie Witham has more on the Indians' defensive improvements. Little by little, Katie, they're getting better.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and that's exactly what Mike Sarbaugh told me today. They really put an emphasis on their defense, not giving any extra outs this second half of the season. And really what they've focused on is they've been telling the entire team, you can't get complacent. You can't relax. Every single pitch, you have to expect that ball is going to get hit to you.
Well, defense is all concentration. It's no different than hitting. It's a part of the game that you have to take a lot of pride in and get after every single day and every single pitch.
Kurt Suzuki just dumps one in the shallow right field for his 3rd hit of the night. He's 3 for 3.
Well, here's the first one where Kipnis is backing up. You see, that's a ball where Aviles maybe could have caught, but you don't expect him to catch it. And Kipnis was in the spot to take it away. And then Dickerson cuts a ball off. And I think Suzuki thought he was going to have a double right from the get-go. He thought it was going to be in the gap. It wasn't. So he cut it off and made a good throw, and they nail him at second base. So there's your 2 base runners. And believe me, that was an important time, both of them, in an inning where they could have added on.
And both times, both of those plays, the thing that jumps out at you is the extra effort, the hustle. That's what made both of those plays defensively. If Kipnis isn't hustling to back up Aviles, you don't get the runner at 3rd.
Absolutely.
And if Dickerson isn't on the flat-out fly to cut that off in the gap, makes a big difference. Now the Indians have to continue to try to hold the Twins at bay. They trail it by a run. We're in the 6th. Chris Colabello has struck out twice tonight. And Lee delivers a strike, gets 0-2. Big guy from Massachusetts. Not on the same page with Jim Wolf. Didn't think it was a strike. Well, the Indians have been able to get him tonight, though, is get ahead and then make him chase. Take advantage of his aggressiveness. And this time he swats it the other way on an 0-2 pitch. And the Twins have 2 on with 1 out.
Well, he had to be looking away and looking for the slider because he just waited for it and just slaps it the other way. You'll see where Perez is sitting. That slider just didn't get away enough for an 0-2 pitch. It had some plate. It was on the outside part, but He stayed with it, slaps it the other way. That'll do it for Lee.
Nick Hagedorn will be coming out of the Indians bullpen next when we return. Football season kicks off on Sports Time Ohio Saturday night with Training Camp Daily. All the news and interviews from Browns players and coaches as they open training camp in Berea. Don't miss Training Camp Daily, Saturday, 10:30 p.m. on Sports Time Ohio. Nick Hagedorn coming on for the Indians now with 2 on, 1 out in the 6th. Hagedorn 1-0, 4.15 ERA. This will be his 9th appearance. He's walked 2, struck out 5 in his 4 in a 3rd innings. He's also allowed 5 hits. One of those 5 hits left the yard. John Axford getting loose now in the Indians bullpen.
Well, you mentioned, though, Parmley, he's the 100-point difference from the left side of the plate facing the lefties. He's better this year for whatever reason. But he's going to get Hagedorn with 2 on.
Indians aren't buying it, though.
No, I understand.
I wonder if that's one of those deals where the simple statistics don't tell the whole story.
I'm sure. Well, you don't bring him in. You have the matchup, so why not? His job is to come in here and get a left-hander out for Hagedorn, so that's his job. He's got to do it. Especially in a situation here now. We're just in the 6th inning, and it's going to be probably 3 relievers to get 3 outs in this inning. Not a good grip at that fastball. That's the one thing with Nick Hagedorn. He has to have his curveball. He's got to be able to throw that pitch for a strike if he wants to get left-handers out. You can't get ahead of the hitters, with the fastball and go to that curveball and not throw it for strikes or get him to swing at. And that has been a problem for him this year. If he throws it for a strike, it's great.
Now the 1-1. Well, we were talking to a Major League scout here earlier tonight, and scouts sort of have their own vernacular, their own jargon.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting, and it's relative to Nick Hagedorn in that some guys' fastballs, you don't look at the velocity. How does the hitter react to it, essentially?
Right.
And some guys may not throw as hard velocity-wise, but if the hitter doesn't pick it up till it's halfway there.
Or he's got outstanding off-speed pitches that you have to sit on. It'll translate where his fastball. But his fastball's straight. Now, there's the big breaking ball. He overthrows it, and it's up out of the zone. Now it's 2-2. What's he come back with here? You don't want to get to 3-2 because you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the fastball.
But if he's able to throw that breaking ball for good quality strikes, then all of a sudden his fastball is a little quicker because
Yeah,
you get
because
caught
they
in
have
between.
to, they have to sit on a breaking ball. You prove you can throw it for a strike. If a hitter can only sit on one pitch, there it is. There it is.
He just rung him up for out number 2.
He comes back with it. He slowed it down, and he threw it for a strike. And it is a good breaking ball. Exactly what he needed to do. Look at that. Just throw it for a strike. It doesn't have to be a nasty one on the outside corner. He took enough of it off. Look at it. Locks him up. Yeah, it did. It was a buckler. Exactly what he wanted to do.
Eduardo Escobar 0 for 2 on the night. He's flied out, grounded out. High heater right about at the letters, and Escobar could not catch up. The Hagedon's fastball at 94 miles an hour. Another fastball. That one 95 miles an hour, and that one was a little bit higher, so he's kind of worked up the ladder on him.
Keep going. Stay up there.
I was going to say, would you do that or
don't slow it down on him yet? I wouldn't.
Go up the ladder before you go back with a breaking ball?
Keep him upstairs. Keep him looking upstairs. He's gone after the first 2.
He did, and Escobar got to it to foul it off.
Yeah, he left that one maybe a little bit more away. Axford in the bullpen. He's ready should he be needed. You throw that pitch again up right about letter high and make it middle of the plate to in, and you'll be okay.
Here's the 2-strike delivery, and he went to the breaking ball, but missed out of the strike zone.
It's just not a consistent pitch for Nick. You know, I wish he could throw that when he wanted to for strikes, but when you get in there, sometimes you just over torque it and it just sits up top and spins like it did his first time. If you want to get it, to get a feel for it, but you don't want to hang one for a little right-handed hitter like this.
There's a good fastball.
Yeah, right in on his hands. Love it.
Santana coming down the line, makes the catch, and the inning is over. So the twin strand of pair, Nick Hagedon with a nice job out of the pen tonight. 6 complete, 3-2 Minnesota. America's News Sports Network is the place to turn before every slam, every goal, every game with America's pregame weeknights at 6. only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, Rick, all season long, from the 7th inning on, the Indians have been a very, very dangerous ball club. They've outscored their opponents by 10 runs in the 7th, 5 in the 8th, 13 runs in the 9th, and by 5 runs from the 10th inning on. So add it all up, and this is where they can really make opponents' life miserable.
Oh, that's usually when you get to the back end of that bullpen, where if you're down a game like they are now, you're going to see their best arms coming out as well.
That's low. Mike Aviles, Jason Kipnis, Chris Dickerson. Caleb Thielbar, who got all 3 outs in the 6th, staying on here to pitch the 7th. Ron Gardenhire might not bring a right-hander into the game if he doesn't have to.
No, he may keep the lineup where it is. Well, for Perkins, if it stays this way.
Aviles trying to drive one to the gap, but Santana able to run it down. 1 away. Talking about the Indians and the fact they've outscored their opponents by 33 runs this year from the 7th inning on. It's something that Terry Francona understands, but doesn't dwell on it a whole lot.
I wish I knew, because if I knew, we'd score early. I mean, there's times we start slow, which we don't. We wish we'd rather play with a lead. But if you're not, the next best thing is to keep playing and try to score late. I think our guys don't quit playing, which I think is good. I mean, nobody really quits playing, but they don't mail in too many at bats late. They give it a pretty good effort, which is good.
It's hard to put your finger on it. You can't explain why they scored late in the game. I mean, to actually say, hey, they do. I agree with them. You'd like to play from in front early. It makes it a little bit easier, and every time they do play from in front, it's a good thing. But the magic number, as we told you, is at least 4, preferably 5. If they do that, they got a really good chance to win. If he could figure it out, he'd be in Las Vegas.
When the Indians score first, they're 32-15. So as he said, he'd love to play from in front. That's ideal. Jason Kipnis smacks it into right field. His first hit tonight, and a 1-out base runner as the Tribe will bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Before that happens, time for a Mazda game break. Here's Al. All right, thanks, Al. Ron Gardenhire can pretty much say the same thing. When Minnesota scores first, as they did here tonight, they're 29-16.
Well, they've got a very good bullpen as well, like the Indians. And I think that's, when you have a lockdown bullpen, you turn the game into a 6 or 7 inning game. When you can get that lead over to your bullpen and move on. So you would love to play from in front and hope that starter can give you at least 6 innings. And then, I mean, that's a manager's dream, but it doesn't always work like that. They got to go out. They have to match up. In this game, both starters went 5 innings, so it could be match up the rest of the way.
Dickerson takes a strike.
I mean, we haven't played the Twins for quite a while. First trip here since last year. The Indians have won, 6 in a row here, 7 of their last 8 in this ballpark.
Double barrel action in the Minnesota bullpen. And you got to figure with the right-handed hitting Gomes and Santana and Rayburn all waiting in the wings, we could see some matchups coming up here.
Well, I knew there's the one other left-hander, Dunsing. He's always going to play a role. And Burton, of course, the right-hander. He could come on for one hitter if he wanted to.
Dickerson came off the bench with a clutch 2-out RBI single that got the Indians on the board in the 3rd, and then with 2 outs and nobody on base, he went from 0-2 to drawing a walk, and then came around to score on the double by Gomes. So not in the original starting lineup. He came in when Asdrubal Cabrera left with lower back spasms, and he's played a key role for the Tribe tonight. You have to wonder too with Cabrera if that's an issue where he'll be fine tomorrow. If that's a lingering problem, you
don't know. In this
about.
heat, you never know. It may have just spasmed up on him because of the heat here. What'd you say? Game time? It was like 95.
90, but with a heat index of over 100. And they haven't had that. Indians haven't played it. I mean, hardly anybody has. It's been a mild summer to this point.
They guessed wrong.
Throws it away, though. Kipnis can go to third. He had to pick up the ball, and he finally did. And he'll go in there safely coming around third just to make sure. And the Twins finally corral it.
A break.
That was an absolutely horrific throw. Like,
but
I don't know what happened.
It looks like Morales just took a swing and miss.
You think that's what it was? Oh, you know what? Maybe it wasn't that bad of a throw.
He went out there. I don't know if he whiffed on that ball, if it was in play, but they had Kipnis dead to rights. If he went out there to maybe throw it before he even received it, is the way it looked. I'd have to get another look at a different angle. But
infield in now, 2-2 to Dickerson. Boy, does that change the complexion of an at-bat for Dickerson now.
Changes the complexion of this game with the infield in and the Indians with an opportunity to tie it. After they had him picked, the Twins have had 2 guys thrown out of the bases. The Indians should have had 1.
Well, Kipnis gets credited with his 14th stolen base, and he gets third base on the errant throw. The error was charged to the pitcher. Let's see if we get one more angle. Let's see. He's reaching for it.
Yeah, that was way out of line. Okay, then throw over there. There's nothing Morales could do. I mean, that's the best look we have at it. I thought he went for it and then just missed it, but that throw was way offline.
Just missed in a full count. Whew, that was close.
He's taken some really good pitches with 2 strikes today, and a nice eye up there to get it to a full count.
Again, the Twins have the infield in, cut of the grass all the way around the horn. Payoff pitch. Pulled the string on him and strikes him out. 2 away. And now Ron Gardenhire going to his right-hander.
Really slowed this curveball down, but threw it for a strike. He wasn't going to take, throwing it for a ball, but a good pitch. Dickerson comes up empty. That's out number 2.
So Jared Burton will be coming on to face Yan Gomes with the tying run at third and 2 out in the 7th inning. Two down now here in the 7th inning. We'll give you one more look at the play that enabled Kipnis, who's off on first movement. The throw, it was wide, but you could see Morales came off the bag and sort of took almost a rounded off route to get to the throw. So look, watch how he comes off the bag.
Yeah, he might have taken himself right out of the play with that inside move, because He wants to throw the baseball in the inside part after you catch it.
I got you.
But you've got to catch the ball first before you go to the inside. So give Kipnis a stolen base, and then the error they do give to the pitcher. But I'll tell you what, he might have.
He didn't help him out. That's
no,
for sure.
He didn't give him any help on that play. That was a better look at it right there, where you did see him come off the bag and go to the inside part of the infield.
Jared Burton will face Yan Gomes. Gomes, an RBI double with 2 outs his last time up.
Well, both Indians' runs tonight have scored with 2 outs.
14 of the 23 on the road trip. It's been their calling card. Gomes takes low, ball 1.
Well, let's leave another calling card for him. Leave it at home plate, Mr. Gomes here. And he drove in the second one.
Like the Pink Panther?
Yeah. He drove in the second one.
Fouled by Gomes in a 1-1 count.
Well, I know Kipnis too will be heads up with any ball in the dirt, but this is one of the best behind the plate as far as blocking balls. You remember the last time they came to Cleveland, how Suzuki was like a goalie all over the place?
Yeah, he was in the dirt the whole game.
I mean, he was unbelievable. Not a big guy, but very quick.
Gomes bangs it foul. I think that was when Kevin Correa started.
I think you're
he
right.
He was bouncing balls left and right.
You are correct. It's been so long, I wouldn't remember.
Here's a 1-2 to Gomes. Swing, I guess he missed it, huh? I wasn't sure if he might have got a piece of it. He did not. Strikes out, ends the inning. And the Indians cannot take advantage of the break. They leave the tying run at third. 3-2 Minnesota. Time now for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. By overstuffed Cam on a warm, humid night here in the Twin Cities. Minnesota with a 3-2 lead. And as we move now to the bottom of the 7th inning, the Tribe will go back to the bullpen, and they'll call upon John Axford.
43rd time for Axford. 2-3, 335. He'll be facing the top of the Minnesota order. Santana, Dozier, Plouffe. Pega done a nice job to get out of that last inning with 2 runners aboard. He went 2/3 of an inning, had a strikeout.
Well, top of the order for Axford. He's done a nice job coming out of the Indians bullpen, maybe carving out a new niche after he opened the season as the Indians closer. But he lost that role after he had a couple of rough patches. And since then, he's just been trying to work himself back into some sort of a role. And Terry Francona's picked different spots to use him. But look, with his arm, with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and a good curveball, you would think that he's got to be able to fill a meaningful role. It can't be a guy that you just run out there in blowout situations or confidence-building situations. I think they need John Axford to be a guy they can count on late
and you know what? I think I agree with you 100%. I also think the same thing about Carlos Carrasco, the way he pitched in Detroit.
Rick, if the other night is any indication of what he can do, then, I mean, you're talking about potentially a tremendous setup guy. 97-mile-an-hour fastball, wicked slider.
It's a great outing on Saturday night.
I'm sure some of those Tiger hitters are going, have we faced this guy before? Because this doesn't look like the same Carlos Carrasco.
No, that was his best outing of the year by far.
Well, here's Brian Dozier now, 0 for 3 on the night. He has flied out, grounded out, popped up on the infield. There's the curveball that misses. There is Carrasco, who the Indians gave one last opportunity as a starter to at the beginning of the year. But hey, it's not the end of the world, and there have been a lot of pitchers in the last 20 or so years who've made the transition from starter to reliever and had successful careers. So perhaps he'll be the latest in a long line of guys like that. This was what Rick was talking about the other night against Detroit. This is the meat of their order now, mind you.
There was the slider, 3-2. He fell behind. There's Martinez, hit a ball right on the nose to Aviles, who was playing short but over there. And then another fastball away, but he had a good slider to his changeup. That's some really good stuff.
Yeah. Two down, a pitch at the knees, outside corner. Plouffe doesn't like it. He has the difference maker in this game. His RBI double drove home the third run in the third inning. Axford, boy, that fastball, and that's what you talked about before. When you can throw that curveball, the 95-mile-an-hour fastball is even a little more lethal.
Especially when you throw that breaking ball for strike one in the first pitch. Now the hitter's thinking, okay, what do I sit on? Boom, there's a fastball by, and now he doesn't know what to sit on. As a hitter, man, they go up there and you go strike one, breaking ball, strike two, fastball. Now it's a guessing game. So you put doubt into that hitter's mind, and he can't sit on any one pitch.
Casey Fiend. In the dirt. Now Axford with a 1-2. Another ball in the dirt. Plouffe up and layoff. But now, after seeing a couple of breaking balls in the dirt, he can go back to sitting on his fastball now. And that's where Axford's got to have good command of it.
Well, he was throwing him chase pitches. Comes back with the fastball. He fouls him off.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, when you get ahead, you don't want to throw that breaking ball for a strike and give him a chance.
Well, you don't really. I mean, you want to throw a good one to see if he'll chase after, but you don't want to hang one to where he can hit it. So you get back. He's thrown a couple of them. Now he come back with the fastball. He fouled it off. He wants to get him out with the breaking ball if he could.
Oh, another fastball rode it up out of the strike zone, and Plouffe, no match. Axford a 1-2, 3-7. Head to the 8th. 3-2 Minnesota. The telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Indians Live presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care coming up after the ball game here on Sports Time Ohio. Stay tuned for that. All the highlights and everything you need to know about tonight's ball game. Well, we move on now. 8th inning. The Twins protecting a 1-run lead. Casey Fiend on for the 46th time this year. He has become a very reliable setup man with a 2.18 ERA. He's got Santana, Rayburn, and Swisher due up, but Michael Brantley has moved to the on-deck circle now for Cleveland.
You knew he was going to end up appearing if they did bring in another right-hander. Their closer, of course, is Perkins, the left-hander. Doesn't matter with Brantley, though.
So Santana, Brantley, and Swisher here in the 8th for Cleveland. How many times do you hear it? The save, which is generally recorded in the 9th inning, sometimes comes in the 8th. It all depends on how the lineup falls. But for Minnesota right now, you've got the middle of the Indians lineup here in the 8th inning. Santana taking, it's a strike. Carlos singled his last time up, but that was from the right side of the plate. And he just took the ball to the opposite field. It was a nice approach. He's down on the count now, 1-2. Now the Twins, after Santana gets the 2 strikes, they'll take Trevor Plouffe, the third baseman, and throw him on the right side of the infield for a full-on shift.
It's funny, they waited until 2 strikes.
Santana pops it foul the other way, out of play. Santana leading off here in the 8th inning. Should he get a pitch away, if he can just get the barrel to it and punch it toward third base, he's got an easy hit, possibly a double. They pitch him that way, and he pops it out of play to the left. Indians down a run here in the 8th, 3-2. Minnesota leading it. Santana with a one-hop smash. It knocks down Dozier, but he gets up quickly and throws him out.
Wow, nice play. Nice play. He's made 2 tonight. This one he's playing in shallow right field. That ball not an easy play to snag, but he got up and got rid of it quickly. He had more time than that, but why not? Going to his left. He made one going to his right earlier off Kipnis. There's the throw. There's the out.
Now Michael Brantley, who is getting the night off, but called upon to pinch hit here in the 8th. Ryan Rayburn was 1 for 3. Pitch outside for ball 1. And that's in his career, 6 out of 12. He hasn't done much pinch hitting this year because he's in the lineup every day. But he is a perfect 1 for 1, it should be pointed out, this season. Count is 2-0 with Nick Swisher on deck. Brantley drives one deep right field. Parmalee won't get it. It's going to short hop the fence. Actually hit low on that fence, and he'll roll into second base with a 1-out double. Well, Michael Brantley just blistered that baseball, and that'll be his 25th double on the year.
You know, you do this on a 2-0 count, and Michael Brantley is just waiting for that fastball, and he gets one down, and he drops the barrel head of that bat down there. This guy, that's our Wendy slow motion replay. He could wake up out of bed and hit. He doesn't need any batting practice. Just come on. Boy, what a good swing. So there's the double. There's the tying run and scoring position for the Indians.
And we'll see if Nick Swisher can deliver. He's had some big hits lately. He's driven in 15 runs in his last 16 games, and he's got a chance to bring home the tying run with a base hit here. And he takes low ball 1. Swisher walked in the 2nd, reached on an error in the 4th, and then he grounded out in the 6th. And that's outside.
Second straight 2-0 count. Well, he went with a fastball to Brantley. See what he throws Swisher here.
Ground ball. Morales scoops it up, and he flips it to Fiend. 2 down. Brantley to third. And our in-game box score brought to you by Hyundai. Now Kipnis, Dickerson, Gomes, Santana, Brantley, who just pinch hit, all with base hits. The only other hit tonight belongs to Lonnie Chisnall, but the only 2 runs, one came in the 3rd on a 2-out RBI single. The other came in the 5th on a 2-out RBI double. And if the Indians are to tie this game in the 8th, they'll need another 2-out hit. Roberto Perez 0 for 3 is the hitter. Perez just missed back in, I believe it was the 4th inning. He was trying to shoot one down the right field line, and it missed about a foot foul. He was trying to put the Indians ahead with that swing. Brantley with a pinch hit double is at 3rd now with 2 down. Outside with it, 1-1. Ryan Shaw, Carlos Carrasco both getting loose. The 1-1. Up the middle, it's through. Roberto Perez has tied the game with his first hit of the night, and the Indians have scored all 3 of their runs with 2-out hits here this evening, and we are even up at 3 apiece.
Oh boy, what a big hit for the kid. He tried to go inside and he missed, or they wanted it away, and he goes inside and it goes right back up the middle. He missed it by a good 1.5 feet. The plate's 17 inches. And you can see Suzuki trying to reach back. They wanted the fastball away, and he just put his head down. And Perez ties this game up. A big pinch hit from Michael Brantley and a big 2-out hit by Perez. Watch the glove and watch where he's located. He wants it off the plate, and watch where it comes in at. Not good for the Twins. Very good for the Indians.
Lonnie Chisenhall sends one high and slicing foul out of play. Tribe tying the game up here in the 8th inning. 3-3. Hits are now even at 8 apiece. And once again, it's the Indians scoring late in the ballgame. Now outscored their opponents by 34 runs on the year from the 7th inning on. Chisenhall, 1 out of 3 on the night. Still down on the count, 0-2. This has been one of those games where the Indians they just had to grind everything out. Nothing has come easy.
Well, no, it has not. When you think about it, the walk scored back in the 5th. All runs scoring with 2 outs.
Michael Brantley getting it started here in the 8th with a pinch hit double. Jason Giambi. And the 1-2 from Casey Fiend. Foul back.
Yeah, fouled off a good pitch. That's how you stay alive, man. These pitchers make good pitches. When you're having a year like Lonnie is, you foul off tough ones to live for another pitch. They can make mistakes. They don't always locate it where they want to. We just witnessed that with the last at bat.
And another spoiled pitch by Chisenhall. That run allowed by Casey Fiend, it's only the 4th run that he has allowed at home this year.
Look at that. That ball is a foot off the plate, and he was still able to get a piece and slap it. Foul to stay alive.
Another foul back. Coming into tonight at home this year, the opposing batters had 12 hits and 64 at bats against him. The Indians have picked up 2 in 4 trips in the inning. And this will be the 9th pitch of the at bat for Lonnie Chisenhall. He's hoping Casey Fiend makes another fat mistake like he did to Roberto Perez. Something he could take advantage of. To left field. Long run for Willingham. He's there, though, to make the catch and end the inning. But Roberto Perez with the Indians' 3rd 2-out RBI hit of the night, and we are all even at 3. Three, and we are now headed to the bottom of the 8th inning where Brian Shaw comes on for Cleveland. 48th appearance of the year. He has been the very definition of a workhorse. He's got buddies in that category on the team. 4-1, 2.62 ERA. Now defensively, Michael Brantley is in center field, and Chris Dickerson moves from center over to left. Henry Morales, 1 for 3 on the night, will be the batter for Minnesota. Josh Willingham on deck. Kurt Suzuki due 3rd. One way or another, Rick, the Indians are going to see Glenn Perkins in the ninth.
Yeah.
Whether it stays tied or Minnesota goes ahead. You'd prefer that it's a tie situation as Shaw misses up and in. Because Perkins has been very good for Minnesota at the back end of that bullpen. He was an all-star. Swing and a miss. Shaw with a good low heater. Perkins 22 saves, 4th most in the American League. 58 saves since the start of last year. Also 4th most.
Yeah, he's done a nice job for Minnesota. He's, you know, not heard a lot about, but he goes out there and he's pretty consistent. Born right here in Minnesota, homeboy.
2-1 to Morales. And he swings and misses to even the count. Shaw's 2-2. Bounced it foul over top of the Twins dugout. Josh Willingham waiting in the on-deck area. I would say in the on-deck circle, but no one ever stands in the on-deck circle anymore.
No, it's just for show.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Mike Avila started tonight's game in center field, and he was tested right away in the first inning. Oh, what a nice catch he made.
Yeah, that ball got back on him. They had some fun. He only played 2 innings out there, and then Dickerson comes in because Cabrera went out. Avilas came to short. Makes a beautiful throw to second base and gets Suzuki.
And now Michael Brantley, the third Indian center fielder in the game tonight. They say Willingham didn't go. It looked like he did at first glance. But they say no, and it's 1-0. Willingham with a single and a run scored. He's also walked and flied to center. Good breaking ball. I thought that was a breaking ball. That was a fastball that had some serious movement on it. Look at Willingham saying, what was that? 1-1 to count. Down in the dirt. Detroit leads Arizona 3-2. They're in the 5th inning. Out in Phoenix. 2-1 pitch. Back out of play. White Sox held off Kansas City. They beat the Royals 3-1. And KC is falling on hard times. They've lost 4 in a row now. And they've fallen 2 games below 500. Boy, when we went there the last time, they were just getting hot. They got on a roll. Yeah. It looked like they were going to take off, and they have just hit a wall.
Yeah, like every club that has had that hot streak.
Wow. Close pitch. Full count. Yeah, nobody's been immune to it this year in the Central Division. That is for certain.
Very good pitch.
Three-2 hit deep to left. Gone. Well, the extra strike enables Josh Willingham to give Minnesota the lead. Instead of being the second out of the inning, he gets a second chance, and he delivers.
Watch the slider. It's going to stay up just a hair, and it was middle of the plate. It didn't get away, and he kept his hands back enough. It was a line drive. Just gets over the fence. Twins take the lead. It's 4-3. Willingham, his 9th home run. For Brian Shaw, that's his 3rd given up.
Well, now Glenn Perkins will be coming into a save situation. 2-0 to Suzuki. He is 3 for 3 on the night. 2 singles and a 2-run double. Popped him up. Santana in foul ground. 2 away. That's going to bring up Chris Colabello. He's 1 out of 3 with a single, and he has struck out twice. Looking ahead to the 9th inning for the Indians, it'll be Mike Aviles, Jason Kipnis, and Chris Dickerson. And a swing and a miss. Ground ball to short, backhanded by Aviles. Off balance though, he regains his form, throws him out, and the inning is over. But Josh Willingham, who got a second chance in the inning, takes advantage with a solo shot. 4-3 Minnesota. Car care. It's coming up next. Glenn Perkins will try to nail it down now for Minnesota.
41st appearance for Perkins. He's 3-0. He's 22 out of 25 in save opportunities. Giving up a couple of home runs. Opposition hitting just .231. Aviles will be the leadoff hitter. It'll be Aviles, Kipnis, and Dickerson as Sam Fold goes into the game for the guy that hit the home run. Willingham to take over for defensive purposes.
Well, here we go. Mike Aviles will lead it off for the Indians, down a run in the ninth. And he takes a strike. Out of play. The 0-2 way up high. Perkins has good velocity. Think about Twins left-handed relievers, and Eddie Guardado comes to mind. In fact, Guardado is the only guy from a left-handed perspective that has more saves than Glenn Perkins. Guardado had 116 in his time with Minnesota. Aviles with a high drive to left field, but not deep enough. Sam Fold there to make the catch, one away. Looking back at our keys to the game, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. I don't know. I didn't see any letdown. They
didn't have a letdown.
They haven't generated any offense tonight.
That's true. They scored all 3 runs with 2 outs. They've been fine. The defense has been fine.
Tough to win with 3 runs. The Indians are 9-35 this year when they score 3 runs or less. I bet most teams are like that.
Oh, there's no doubt.
That 4-run mark, there is just a huge swing. And yet, as I look up tonight, you've got White Sox won 3-1. Texas won. They would have won with 3 runs. They won 4-2. Milwaukee won 5-2. Dodgers won 5-2. You don't score 3, tough way. I mean, if you don't score more than 3, tough way to make a living.
You're going to win some, but not a lot.
2-1 pitch coming to Kipnis as he tries to get something started for the Tribe. Ground ball up the middle. Nicely played by Escobar, and he throws it out. 2 down.
Escobar makes the play going to his left, spins and throws. Indians down to their last out.
Swing and a miss, challenged him up high, though. It was a high fastball, and Dickerson unable to catch up there. 0-1.
The Twins, when they scored 3 or less, 7-33. And to get back to your point.
Yep. And they had them there. Both teams were at 3, so somebody was going to get to 4 at least in this game tonight. It just so happens that it's Minnesota. Josh Willingham got the big home run. Dickerson fouling it back. The Indians just nothing easy tonight. All 3 of their runs came with 2 out RBI hits. And they're down to their last strike. Minnesota takes the series opener by a final score of 4-3 as they get the home run from Josh Willingham in the bottom of the 8th to turn a tie game into a Twins victory. Winning pitcher is Casey Fiend, who also suffers a blown save. Kind of ironic. He's 5-4. Glenn Perkins nails it down for his 23rd save of the year. Brian Shaw takes the loss for Cleveland. He's 4-2. The win pushes Minnesota to 45-53, and the Indians are now 50-49 on the year. Time for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, you go back into the bottom half of the 8th inning. A pitch before this was oh so